convener Oliver Vormawor to Wednesday, March 16. Lead counsel for the accused, Akoto Ampao, argued that the statement by the accused was a conditional phrase which was shared as a viewpoint with respect to coups in the sub-region. But Senior State Attorney Hilda Craig told the court that the accused's social media post showed his statement of intent, which he followed through by coming to Ghana. Presiding Judge Daniel Mensah adjourned the ruling of the application after hearing both sides of the divide. My colleague Lord Edwasari has been following this particular case since it began. He also sat through proceedings. He's joining me with the latest. Lord, can you tell us exactly what transpired in court with respect to the, bail application that we know the lawyers for the convener has filed?
Right, so coming up, two statements by the lead counsel for Oliver Vormawor. So it was the counsel was actually led by lawyer Akoto Ampao. He noted that, first of all, there was no activity by Oliver, and there was also his statement was also a conditional one. A statement being that if the e-levy is passed, that's when whatever he wanted to do will be carried through. Seeing that had not been done, there was no viewpoint there. And also with his history, nothing shows that there was any activity of intent. Right from the start, when Oliver came to court, the judge asked of his well-being, to which he responded by saying that the law maketh the man, and then he went quiet. But essentially, lawyer Akoto Ampao noted that he cited Martin Kebu's case, noting that the principle of the presumption of innocence needs to be observed, and as such, Oliver should be treated as such. And he stated that Oliver is not someone who is flight risk, seeing that the prosecution has taken receipt of his passport. He also noted that there was no evidence that the accused will not appear before the court, seeing that in previous times he had obliged and had showed up in court. Cited the fact that even after making the publication on his social media platform, he came to the country and indicated that no person who wanted to go through the coup will have the courage to come to the country, having given prior notification of something of the sort.
Okay.
But senior state prosecutor. Hello, come on.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Senior State Attorney Hilda Craig, however, rebutted and noted that Oliver's statement spoke very much of his intention to organize a coup, and that the fact that he came to the country was to follow through. He noted that the accused will not show up in court when granted bail, and because of that, should not be given the bail application. He said he does not have a fixed abode in the country. In the affidavit, they cited that Oliver does not have any fixed abode, and that although he sent them to 3 places, those places are not necessarily where he resides.
Okay.
Something she also cited was that Oliver's conduct in custody leaves much to be desired, and I quoted, he said that he's been abusive per paragraph 13 of the affidavit, and stated that the accused's ability to flout court orders shows that he will not assist in investigations if he is granted bail. There was an incident where the court ordered for him to hand over his phone to the prosecution, and he didn't do so immediately. And that was what the Senior State Attorney was citing.
Okay, thank you very much, Lord Edwasari, my colleague who's been following this particular case. Well, Ralph Williams is a member of the Fix the Country movement. He spoke after the adjournment of this particular bill hearing.
Okay, so we are just hoping that the judge on Wednesday, as they've adjourned the case, will come out and give his ruling. And we are hoping that Oliver will be granted bail so that the police can continue with whatever investigations due to make sure that they come out with a conclusion of this case. It is just a history repeating itself. This happened in 1954, okay, when Nkrumah rose up fighting for this country. Okay, so it has happened. It's not only Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, Samula Marcels, Patrick Mulumba. History is just repeating itself, and we are going to stand firm and support Oliver till the end of this case. We are Ghanaians, and we are going to rise up to fight for this country. Arise, Ghana youth. Oliver hasn't been well, but you know, inwardly he's not well, but physically I think you guys saw him very fit in there because he's been inspired. With his health, I think the police did very well, making sure that they give him the proper medication he deserves, so that anything that needs to be done for him as a citizen he wouldn't be denied of it. So we thank.
Well, still on this subject, US-based law professor Kwekwasa is insisting the continuous detention of Oliver Vormawor is against his human rights. He tells my colleague Roland Walker refusing him bail is just an abuse of judicial power and the power of the state.
He should have been on bail by now. I don't know why the bail application delayed for that long. Secondly, when I look at the crime that he has been charged with and the evidence thus far that I've seen in support of the crime, it makes me cringe, because basically they have, or the prosecution has clipped some postings on Facebook that he made, and they are using those clips as the basis to mount a treason felony crime. A treason felony crime is a serious crime. Those who commit treason felony don't announce it, that hey, we are going to overthrow the government. So I just think it is an issue that has not been handled well, and my opinion is that he should be released immediately. He should never have been put in jail. Look, sometimes in a democracy, people say things that make us uncomfortable. Merely because you have been made uncomfortable doesn't then mean a crime has been committed.
Well, security expert Professor Kwesi Enin has described as unfair a security alert issued by the U.S. government to foreign nationals in Ghana based on unsubstantiated information of kidnapping in some parts of the country. Speaking with TV3, Professor Enin says the Foreign Affairs Ministry should protest and demand an apology.
To put unsubstantiated information within the public domain, particularly about a country that is located within an unstable sub-region. First, I think it's unfair, and the Foreign Ministry must protest. And it is this lack of sensitivity in dealing with partners that they perceive to be weak that sometimes they issue statements that cause substantial reputational damage, to smaller partner states. So I think this information truly, it is unfair, it's unwarranted, and then there needs to be a much more solid basis because of where we are located. It is crucial that when you put out information that seeks to advise people as to how to behave and where to go, that advice is predicated on solid, on the ground assessment